Sukanya.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari
Is
Om.
the expression Jyotisham Jyoti relevant in this discussion?
Yeah, I mean, of course it is relevant because it is what Jyotisham, Jyotihi, the light of all lights. Okay, that's how they translate it. The illuminer of all illuminating agents. Means that's what it is. Yeah, that is it. That is it. That is it.
Yeah. Because he can't be illumined, because he is illumination itself.
Who is illumination himself?
The Jyoti.
Correct. Correct. So as far as awareness is concerned, that belongs only to Atma. That is the nature of Atma. So physical light and all, let that science be. No problem with that science. But to be aware of the sun is not aware of me, but I am aware of the sun. Big difference it is. So that awareness is what we are catching, holding on to. And Shastram, uncanny thing about Shastram is that awareness is you. That is the real you. That's how we got into it. Yeah, Hariji, that's correct. So Jyotisham api tad jyotihi. Isn't there a shloka in Bhagavad Gita like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Jyotisham api tad jyotihi. Something like that. Hey, this one, yeah. I think 11th chapter. Vibhuti. ಇಲ್ಲ ದರ್ಶನ ವಿಭೂತಿ ಕಡೆಯದು yeah ವಿಭೂತಿ 10th and Vishwarupa in 11th. I think 10th may have it. I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you Hariji.
एकश्लोकी शंकराचार्य इद्दारे.
Ekashloki. Yeah, Arun, go ahead.
Namaste, Guruji. Guruji, just want to understand the significance of something. Yeah. So more we are learning on this, we are going through an intellectual path of understanding self-knowledge. And then I think based on what you explained today, at one point of time, once you regain that knowledge, that concept of intellect will be lost, right? But you have to start with this intellectual path of questioning. Now, with this intelligent society that we all this ideas or knowledge or the path has been thought of, what is the significance of we having created this many temples, and then we need to go and visit temples, or you need to go to, for example, Himalayas and do tapas and all of that? It was all, the idea is more pushing out of yourself, like towards outside somewhere, instead of again teaching what you fundamentally recognizing yourself, right? But then the whole idea or says that you go outside of yourself and go start looking around. What is the significance of that? There should be some meaning behind all of that, right? You say you can't sit here, you have to go to Himalayas, do tapas, and then you'll regain knowledge. So why is that whole thing taken out of us? What was the significance of that? Out of me, rather.
Right. You know, when we joined the companies, first day on the job, first month, and they'll give me some. I used to work in a chemical company, a factory. I was literally put in a factory. This was south of Chicago, and huge factory, and I ended up there. And some direction they give, you do this, you go to this, meet this person, John, this, that, etc. And then sometimes the directions are clear, but sometimes it is fuzzy. You have to figure it out yourself. And then you kind of struggle with it. And then you find out, why is it like this? No, you are supposed to Turn off all these switches before you do all this. Okay. So you could have told me that before itself, no? The person I'm talking to is an expert in the field, okay? And does he not know what will happen if he doesn't give me proper directions? He knows very well. He knows very well, okay? All right. I'm some small 25 years old and he is 60. He knows it all. And he also knows one more thing. He knows how this fellow is going to learn. What is the best way for him to learn? If I give him the recipe on day one, this fellow will be a recipe driven guy. He will forget to do things by himself. He will forget to solve problems by himself. And let him understand that also. I'm going to keep that factor also in there. And so that is how all of us learnt. Good parents do this to their children. They never give things in the platter to the children. Otherwise, the essential learnings will be lost in life. Sometime or the other, the parent would have told the child, you should not be defined by what you earn. You should be defined by your character. What you did for others, that is what is going to define you, not what you get from others. Like this statement, sometimes parents end up making when they see chaos happening in the life of the child. Who is going to? I'm not even talking about Atmabodha. I'm talking about basic human maturity. What is going to define us at the end of the day? Who am I? Am I going to be defined by my character? Some cute statement was there. You're not going to be defined by what you get. You're going to be defined by what you give or something like that. That statement was there. So you read all these statements, it is jarring. Why didn't they tell me this before? Why didn't they tell? They must have told us before, but it did not go into my head. I was driven. We were all driven. A young person is driven because that's when rajas is required. Bhagavan has given the rajas. You got to go out and get it. You got to go out. If you feel like these youngsters are on the top of the world, as though they're ready to go out there and finish. They know everything also. That is fine. That is how the law is. You got to go out. You got to go out before you come in. That is how it seems. The journey seems to be like that. People can understand only going out. That is why children should be given activity. The small young children, they have to play doh, it's called. You got to keep playing with it. You can't abstractly say things like that. Abstract ideas, they also can't grasp. Even values, they may not be able to grasp. For that also, a little couple of years they have to pass before you can talk about Ramayana. Mahabharata, you have to wait for a couple, 3, 4 more years before because Mahabharata is more difficult to understand than Ramayana. And so there is an order there also. So while this order is going on, what do? Go to the temple. Do your japa. Do your puja. Japa also later. No japa. Children should not be asked to do japa. Please. People, parents are very anxious. They have to study Bhagavad Gita and all. Hey, Bhagavad Gita. Did you study Bhagavad Gita when you were 10 years old? You did not study, but you want your child to study, is it? These parents, when they become anxious, they are like over anxious. Today, I want my child to get moksha. Wait. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Let thinks there is a particular order in which we do things, and everything will happen in time. And so, go to the temple. Then what? Then life is going on. And if I'm still a driven guy when I'm 60, I will only look for what? Ayodhya and the Himalayas, correct? I'm not saying going to Ayodhya and Himalayas is wrong. Anybody can go. Even a sannyasi goes to Himalayas. Sannyasi also goes to Kedarnath. Okay, but we are talking about a different context where these things are all available for a person. You can decide what you want to do. You can go to the local temples. You can go to the most famous temples of India. Like you can go to Rameshwaram. You can go to Kodaikanal. You can go to up in Mahalakshmi, Vaishno Devi temple and Kashmir. You can go there also. Can you not get what you got there? Can you not get here? I won't say that. I won't ask the question. You figure it out yourself. Someday it might strike me. If I can't, what am I going there for? I go there to appreciate Shankaracharya went there, and Shankaracharya statue is there, Murti is there. I can sit and meditate on the text I've studied, and this is my place. If I don't go there, who is going to go there? And that place is meant to bless me and my family and my country. So therefore, there is a beauty for going to Himalayas and Kashmir and whatnot. Even Afghanistan temples were there, now gone. And so, nothing wrong with all that. But whether I go to Vaishno Devi temple or not, finally I have to ask that question. That fundamental question has to come. The hope is when people do all these things, I will become a dhiraha along the way, and suddenly my questions will be different. And my questions are not which temple should we go in the next vacation, not that question. It is going to be a different question altogether. Why did they say the body is a temple? If the body is a temple, then is Bhagavan inside the body? Like that questions I will start asking. Then I will end up with Atmabodha. So this cannot be force fed to anybody. Just even emotional maturity cannot be force fed. So that's how I see it, Arunji.
So your explanation around the recipe aspect, right? So I'm not underestimating, but I'm just saying, if we say Atma Bodha is the recipe for us to understand Atma, nowhere in Atma Bodha till now, I mean, it's so scientific in terms of how the explanation, whatever I've been understanding as of now, Guruji, with your grace, it's so scientific, and it's nowhere Shankaracharya ji has even once said, oh, you should now focus around to attain Atma, you need to focus around uh, having, I mean, going into temples, you understand God like this and all of that. So there is no such thing. It is just clearly only focusing on Atma. There is no such explanation about you need to do this or that, right? There is no doing. It just focuses on what is the definition of Atma, and then you decide what you need to do. So is the understanding saying that you being a Dhira, as you explained, Guruji, that is a prerequisite for someone to go through this, understand this recipe?
Correct.
So that's why
Correct.
he's not covering any of that.
Correct. That is the answer to your question. That is the answer to your question. So, what was the first shloka? Tapobihi kshina papanam. Very bold statement it is. Tapobihi means people who have tapas in them. That means people who have gone to Himalayas. Wherever you go, you do your tapas.
Right. All are clean.
Disciplined people. Tapobihi. Okay, going to Himalayas is physical discipline, but mental discipline is what he's talking about. Tapobihi kshina papanam. People whose papas are all gone. How? How can anybody's papa go away? It's not possible. It means what? It means dharma has been reigning supreme in the life of a person. The person doesn't cut corners. The person has no impact on Sanchita karma, my karma, and I can't touch. I can only experience my karma. I can't touch my karma. I can't manipulate it. I can't get a tax break, or like tax breaks sometimes we get like that. No karma break. Okay. Tapo bihi kshina papanam. Shantanam. People who have mano nigraha, shama, means people who are in control of themselves. People who can't be swayed by things just like that. Whether attractive things or traumatic things, also the person may shake a little bit. Oh my God, shock, crying, and all that, but comes out of it. Why the person comes out of it and somebody else is just not able to come out? Maturity. So, Kshina Papanam, Shantanam, Vita Raginam. These are all very idealistic statements, really speaking. Nobody is a Vitaragi, really speaking. But that ideal has been listed. Only when the ideal is listed, we can approach the ideal. So Vitaraginam, people who, people again, who have Vairagyam. So therefore it means, if I'm studying this text and none of us have those attributes listed in 100% measure, that means what? It tells me I have to begin. I have to begin the journey of, every minute I have an opportunity. Opportunities galore, just coming all the time. I can reprioritize my life. I can say no where I've been saying yes all the time. That is what reprioritizing is. So that is why Shankara has no reason to say anything about karma yoga. We call it karma yoga. That building of discipline, building of this Ishwararpana Buddhi, building of this Dhira mindset. I'm not a Dhira today. I'm a half-baked Dhira. Ah, that half-baked, I have to bake it. How is it going to bake? Shravanam is also going to help, but Shravanam is not going to be all end all. Because I'm not a Uttamadhikari, I'm not a Tapobihi Kshina Papana, I'm not that person. Therefore, I have to do what I've been doing, but I have to do better. Better means what? With a better attitude, proper attitude. I'm not going to cut corners. Even though it is painful or inconvenient, I will try my best to do it because it is my dharma. Then what happens? I will fall in that bucket of tapo bhikshina papana. And so Shankaracharya doesn't have to mention any of it. In some other basic text, he will talk about it. Briefly, he will talk about it. There also briefly only. Viveka Chudamani is a text of 500 and some verses. And sometimes on and on, you wonder if Shankaracharya wrote all these basic things. Okay. Or somebody filled it up, So, bottom line is, we are all, that is a short answer. That is a
Yeah.
short answer. That is a short answer. And so, you will not find all the, but at the same time, Shankaracharya has written so many shlokas on every devata he has written a shloka, Ganapati onwards, everything has been written. Shiva is written. Devi written so much. Okay. Why? For us only, for our sake only it has been written. When I go to the temple, when I sit in front of Ganapati, I can chant this particular Ganesha Pancharatnam. And everybody is able to chant it. It's very profound. But a person like you can begin to understand what the shloka says. But other people have bhakti, they have shraddha, they will chant it. So Shankaracharya has provided all of that. Entire spectrum he has covered. Panchayatana Puja. So that is a way to worship the entire universe. Okay. So Ganapatyam, Sauryam, etc. like this. We've got different streams. Why different streams? Because what stream appeals to me only God knows. And so for each person we have a particular stream. So it's very profound, Arunji. The more I look into it, it seems very profound.
Yeah.
And songs, classical music songs are there. We never bothered about it. We've been Dhammaradam, we've been dancing. But but there are other songs too, which are talking about the same Atmabodha only is there. Annamacharya has written, anybody has written, Mirabai up north has written like this, go on and on, it is there. But those things become more meaningful to us now. It's all there. It depends on where the mind gets carried away by. Somebody will say, one child will say, Uncle, I like these classical music songs. Why? At an age when you're supposed to be seeing movies and sing all these movie songs, why are you attracted by classical music? Some samskara is there. So that boy also has something to latch on to. Everybody else also has something. So I think you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. Yeah, Meera Narayanan, then Shanti.
Guruji, this Atma Swarupa Vritti, I was trying to understand. It's like that, what you said, the same thing you said as Akhandakara Vritti, no? When you were explaining the fifth shloka, Akhandakara Vritti. So it disappears, you say, correct? But our day-to-day functions, even the Jnanis, is based on Vrittis only, when he looks and when he interacts with the world and everything. And also we have seen that there is a possibility of that experience, not experience, of self knowing when so many things are happening in our day-to-day life, when we look at things in awe and things like that. So understanding the difference between that, when there are glimpses of the desire not being there, and when this vritti you have mentioned about, can we understand it like the basic vritti of lack? When I know myself, that akhandakara vritti, which is the basis for all the vrittis like to originate, that basic vritti of lack disappears, that insecurity disappears.
So, Akhandakara Vritti comes and goes away. Kataka Renuvat.
Ah.
Okay. So, once the Akhandakara Vritti happens, then you don't look at the world the same way you've been looking at. Okay. That is a Vritti. Akhanda Akara Vritti means Akhanda means that limitlessness which nobody can objectify is revealed to you. Is revealed to you. And goes away. The Vritti is gone. Now, generally, we don't say that Akhandakara Vritti sustains all other Vrittis. We don't say because the Vritti is gone. Okay, Chaitanyam only sustains. Chidabhasa sustains all Vrittis. Okay, whether it's a Vritti of fear, Vritti of security, insecurity, all that is there. Okay, so even in terms of security and insecurity and fear and all that, the fearlessness grows into a person. Grows into the person. Means the knee-jerk reaction is always there, correct? That is something, a snake, if a person looks at a snake, immediately a fear is there. You can't say a jnani will not be taken aback by a snake. Because there's a separate process is working.
Yeah.
The mind is not, the conscious mind is not working at that time. Separate process is working. You just, now what should a jnani do after seeing a snake? Well, you have to do things that people do when they see a snake. You can't say a snake is Brahman and walk away. Then you are going to hurt other people. It may hurt you also. Therefore, that fear and all, how that entire fear is going to go is not in our hands. Not in our hands. Okay, Akhandakara Vritti is there. So now you've got the room, you've got the vision to tell yourself and smile at yourself. I became insecure because of this. And fundamentally, I am not insecure at all. I have to remind myself. I got carried away. The knee-jerk habits that I have picked up over the last so many janmas, it's still there with me. And so that knee-jerk reaction is there. Knee-jerk reaction. That is why this Karma Yoga Buddhi is so important. Karma Yoga Buddhi will slowly chip away at that knee-jerk reaction.
So if his action when there is a snake, for example, to take and hit a snake or something, will that action be based on his knowledge of I am not the doer, or that also will be a part of knee-jerk reaction itself?
So see, for a jnani as a wise person will understand that there's no action sticks to the person. Actions happen, but Indriyani indriyatebhyah vartanta iti dharayan. So, the fact that the sense organs are mind and operating will impel me to act. Actions are happening. But they are not going to produce any adrishta. They will produce drishtapalam because it's an action. But the person should not be affected by those actions. Because the person cannot get anything by those actions. Means anything of value to the person. Person is not looking for any value also. A jnani will not look for any fulfillment, correct? From any actions. I do, I am fulfilled. I don't do, I am fulfilled only. Nothing can make me fuller than what I am. That must be crystal clear. If that is not clear, that jnanam, the jnani has to gain jnana nishtha. That's why we use another word called nishtha. Jnanam happens, but jnana nishtha has to happen. And so, as Swamiji said the other day, growing clarity, grows. This sudden and all that, we don't bring the suddenness into the picture. Akhandakara vritti is sudden. Comes and goes. But I have to deal with my life. I am now straddling the line between this journey of Atma and this Laukika. Paramarthikam and Vyavaharikam. Both lives are there now for Jnani. For an average person, there is no such thing. Life is life. But now this person has the added, shall we say, advantage. And so the person has to balance. Balance means what? Na buddhi bedam janayet. Na buddhi bedam janayet. Jananam.
Jananam
Karma,
ajnanam dosha sangi.
ajnanam karma sanginam. Correct. Correct. That wise person has to know. So while engaging with them, the person is going to relate exactly like an average person. Average person. Look at that. That is what Krishna is saying there. Don't act tough. Don't say I'm this and that. No. That means the person know how to interact with people, which means our own family members. And we nobody will know that you're a jnani. How about that? How about that? Nobody can know. Why? How can nobody not know? Because in order to know that a person is a jnani, the other person should have the jnana. How do I know that you know mathematics? Algebra, basic algebra. How do I know? I must know it first of all. Then as you keep speaking, I can figure it out. So therefore, it's a profound journey, Meera. And in any case, the actions don't stop. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krita. Applies to a jnani also. The jnani may become a mauni. That is the person's choice, whatever. But that doesn't mean the person can live without doing anything. That person has a capacity to be a mauni. That's wonderful. That's a big blessing to humanity. A mauni is a big blessing to humanity or not?
Yeah.
I think so. I think very much a blessing. We can't sit quietly for 1 minute. Mauni, what a blessing. Good. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
That is
Shanti.
that is inaction in action.
No, that is all for a jnani though. That's all for a jnani.
Okay.
So inaction in action and action in inaction also. Both.
Yeah.
Both. That's only for a jnani. Correct. Shanti, go ahead.
Hari Om Guruji. Regarding Arunji's question, can we say God is a religious way of looking at life? So that we follow that devotion, we follow some rules, the way how we have to live, so that we will be relieved of fear and when we see God, look upon God like that. And then, so we have that devotee God like kind of relationship. And then later, when we come to, because this is for people who are studying Atmabodha, because he mentioned we are learning Atmabodha. So while learning Atmabodha, then we look at universe is the God's way of expressing himself. So we see everything is God. Everything, whatever we see in this universe is God. And then slowly we understand that we understand in the sense we at least have that knowledge that like wave and ocean, we are also inseparable from God. I am that. So we do that I versus God inquiry, and then we finally we try to make that shift, isn't it, Guruji? So to make things easier, first they say God is out there, and then they say you are that. Is it like that? Have we to understand that his question? Will this be a suitable answer, Guruji? For can we think in that angle perspective?
No, correct. No, that is the way it is. So initially, so the Bhagavan is the most important entity in our life, really speaking. Because of that only we were got into Atmabodha. Without Bhagavan, we could not have got here. So our bhakti is important. And so initially, as you already said, God is the child, very interesting. Children will do namaskar, cut, like that they will do. And then they grow like that. And then they talked about God is in heaven, like that people say. And because the child will ask, where is God? So the safest answer is to say God is in heaven. Because where is God? If the child asks, I don't have an answer. And so then slowly, no, God is everywhere. God is everywhere. Everything is God. Then you tell them stories and all that, Prahalada and all that, they begin to appreciate everywhere. God is there everywhere. And slowly, yes, as you said, Atma Bodha is Ishvara Bodha. Atma Bodha is Ishvara Bodha, is Jagat Bodha. Jagat means universe. In Atma Bodha, the interesting thing is all these three come together, correct? Slowly coming together. It's coming together. And because I already had the vision that Ishvara is everywhere, all pervasive, through some stories, whatever I came to know, I came to believe that Ishvara is, there's no place where Ishvara is there, not there. Okay. So that means that idea, no other religion talks like this, only our Dharma talks like this. And so that is what makes our job here easy. Because I believed strongly that Bhagavan was there everywhere, I can now believe that Atma is Bhagavan, and because Bhagavan is there everywhere, Atma also has to be all pervasive. All these things become easily believable. And it is the job of the Shastram and the teacher to unfold that truth. Thankfully, it is a truth. We call it a truth, obviously. And it is a job of the Shastram to unfold it, prove it. So for children, if your question is how do you tell children, if that is your question, then yeah, you have to. These dialogues are very interesting dialogues. You have to find a way to, depending on the age of the child, you can tell different versions of it. The person has grown. Teenager means the person can be challenged. Can be challenged. God is everywhere means what? What is your idea of it? Is God there in this cup? Is God there in the water? Mom, I can't believe it. How can God be there in water? And you're drinking it. You're drinking God, that means? We have to have this conversation, Shanti. Only then the children will feel comfortable talking to you. Otherwise, they will write off everything and they will just walk away. I want you to think about it. What is science doing? What is science doing? Science is finding out the commonality between all things in this universe, not just in these metals and these things, wood and all that. That also they're figured out, and they're going to galaxies and trying to figure out the commonality between galaxies also. And what is science telling? Did you Google and find out what science is telling? What physics is telling? Let him Google. Spend some time Googling. Like that, you have that conversation. Keep it scientific. If the fellow is not able to appreciate, then suddenly you bring the religion and the science together like this. God is everywhere, and God protects me. What I know is this much. Then I can't even create a tree. Can you create a small plant? Can you create a small plant? No. Then how is the plant growing? That law. Who created the law? Every scientist is trying to figure out all those things. Science is already there. Knowledge is already there. And now I'm trying to understand that knowledge. Who created the knowledge? Who is the owner of the knowledge? Who puts a trademark on that knowledge? Of that plant sapling growing like this, and then one leaf comes out like this, another leaf comes out like this, two leaves are there, and it keeps growing. That knowledge, who is going to patent? Please tell me. You are quietly patenting, your company is patenting all these things, but the knowledge is out there. We are simply discovering that what nutrition, what is it that makes the rose's petals red, that you go to the lab and keep analyzing, but you did not create the redness in the rose petal. What about that? Like that, you engage the children, and then you will find that you can bring science and our dharma close to each other. Science says that everything is whatever, quarks and whatnot. That is what they say. They have reduced everything to quarks. Means the water also is quarks. This glass that is holding the water also is quarks. The guy who is drinking is also quark only, correct? That the teenager cannot refute. Have him work on it. Then there will be a time, boy, that you will understand that quark also, science is looking at it. What we say is that Atma is even more fundamental than the quark. And that is what is this Atma. And God is also Atma. Therefore, we call God as Paramatma. God's name is Paramatma, Why Paramatma? Same Atma. Like that. We can, I don't know the context of your question, but if you are addressing children, that's how it will be.
No, Guruji, I thought for Arunji's question, he said why we should go to temple, why we are going to Himalayas to meditate, while this knowledge is available. So that is how we need to groom ourselves and go. So I thought this aspect can fit. I was checking whether this one can fit in for his question.
This one means which one?
The God is the religion's way of seeing the universe is God. The Vedantic way is whatever is there in the universe is God is expressing himself as universe.
Correct. There is both are in sync. Both are in sync. Means in Vedanta we will talk about Atma. In Dharma, in religion, we will talk about God. So beautiful it is it not? God is appreciated, it is loved, people have devotion to God, and in our Dharma we have many devatas to worship, and so God is there. As that, it keeps going along with that, with us, it keeps going along with us. And when that time is right, God and Atma are connected. And because the same ideas are going to come here. Which same ideas? The all-pervasiveness of God will come here. All that will come. And then the Upadhi part we have to understand. And then once you give up the Upadhi, then Atma and Paramatma are identical. So correct? So all those ideas are in sync. Very much in sync. Otherwise, we'll be confused. Every Vedanta teacher will be a confused person, correct? Because that life is different, this life is different, God is different, Atma is different, Karma Yoga is different, Jnana Yoga is different. There's no connection between any of these things. Connection is there. Solid connection is there. Yat Sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate. Third chapter or fifth chapter or something. Shankara is saying. Krishna is saying. So, beautiful connection it is. One helps me mature and the other helps me know. Helps me know because it is a praptasya prapti vishaya, you know. One is apraptasya prapti. In a proper way I do, I become mature. Mature means what? I become spiritually mature. Emotionally mature, then spiritually mature, and then ready for praptasya prapti. And there is no problem. Why no problem? Because previously I was told God is everywhere. Now I am told Atma is everywhere. No problem. Therefore, God has to be Atma. They can't be two different things. No problem. So, and science. How do you connect this with science? You connect everything with science. Science is figuring out it out still, but they're also after the same truth. They're also after the truth, no doubt. And unless they come to Atma, they will keep looking for the truth. There'll be something other than strings. Hyper strings might be there. Super strings might be there. Whatever. And so they'll keep on looking. So out there, you can always make divide. The smallest thing can be divided even more. Then even smaller. Now the microscopes, the instruments are not able to look at that small electron. Previously, electron they couldn't look. Then now they can see the electron. So they'll have to keep finding out more and more devices and more theory, more work. And that is Ishvara. Pashyame yoga maishwaram. When I look at that shloka, I look at this only. This is amazing. How Ishvara is taking us for a ride. Or what? Why should Ishvara take us for a ride? He's saying, if you poke your affairs into me, I will reveal my truth. I am going to give you my Vishwarupa Darshana. In small atoms also I can give you. And so, it's all beautiful, Shanti. It's all beautiful.
And one more thing, Guruji, you told about...
Hey, somebody wrote an article. Recently I saw about this. You know, CERN, there is this physics institute in Switzerland. And Shiva statue is there. The Shiva Tandava Murti is there. Somebody wrote, I think maybe it was a Facebook or something. Beautiful write-up on why that Shiva is there, etc. I saw it recently. Sorry, that was just a Facebook post, I think. Yeah. Go ahead, Shanti.
You told about the songs which are so philosophical, Guruji. There was a Tamil composer by name AvudeKkal. She I think 18th century. I don't remember very much. But she got married at a very young age and she became a widow also at a very young age. But she was enlightened. She has written a Tamil song, Guruji. It is fully, because I too saw in the net only, there was some foreigner who used to sing one song. I don't know. I think I remember Vaidyanathan ji telling her name and some Russian or Italian. I don't know, but she speaks very good Sanskrit and she sings Sanskrit songs. I don't know. Later I can browse and tell you. This AvudeKkal song is also typical the Vedanta, this thing, Guruji. Just 20 lines, 5, 6 stanzas only. But later, if I can get it, because this one, mine is handwritten, later I will search for it and send it. Maybe I can.
Sure.
And they say she, on this Adi Amavasai day, she disappeared in Kutralam, it seems. That's what people say about her that time.
Kutralam.
Ah, somewhere in Kutralam, she disappeared. I don't know, she belongs to Thuthukudi or I don't remember properly.
I will ask my father. Avudai Akka, Liya?
Avudai Akkal. Akkal, they
Kkal.
say. Avudai
Avudai
Akkal.
Kkal. I'll ask my father. I'm sure he'll know her. Because he talk a lot about Ammalu.
Oh.
There is one Ammalu. Only recently she passed away. 10 years, 15 years ago. But another lady like that. In our time she lived. So good. So we will.
There is an article about this CERN Shiva statue with quantum theory.
Now these are good things for parents who have children, growing children. These are good things to keep in mind. And
Guruji, one small this thing, Guruji, you told for growing children, those having grandchildren, these stories, isn't it? It is all about killing, destroying, because the evil is being destroyed. It is all about that. But when we tell children they kill, we are only telling negative things, isn't it, Guruji? So and so killed this person because he was an asura. Those asuras all were killed, isn't it? So they say we can use bullying this age term, because when somebody bullies, then they have to be bullying is not a good habit, so they have to be punished. So instead of using the term kill, destroy, we have to use bully.
we have to use the word bully.
Because nowadays bullying, even small children bully the other one, right? So they use the term bully because it's bad. You can't do that. So,
okay.
They are because the killing and all is all too negative, isn't it, Guruji? So
See, I grew up with a lot of killing. Means stories of killing, I meant. Okay. Stories of killing only. Constantly. Mahabharata Ramayana is always like that. But we have to balance it with powerful stories of compassion, stories of sacrifice. If you balance the two, then the killing will not be taken as it is not harsh at all. It means it is adharma, killing of adharma. So I will tell, if one of my children were to say, "Oh, killing, all you these people who are killing each other and all," I will say very simply, look, you are welcome to kill anybody you want, provided you are as compassionate as Shibi Chakravarti or Harishchandra, as truthful as Harishchandra. If you are truthful as Harishchandra, you can kill anybody. I will tell him that. Harishchandra has a license to do it. He won't do it, but you first prove that you have all these values. Then you do what you want. You can't have one and not the other. You can't have one and not the other. Not possible. Shibi Chakravarti, just did you give everything that your friends wanted from you? If you go out in the street, people will throw their hands up like this and ask for it. Will you be able to give it, even though you have it? You have 15 pencils. Did you give any one pencil to anybody? I will challenge them like that. You make them think like this. So if you are compassionate, then you can do what you want. So this. So we have to be creative, Shanti. We have to be creative. I'm not saying it's easy and all that. We have to be creative. Because we also learned this way only, killing only. It's all Rakshasas all the time. Kara, Dushana onwards, they are all thrown away into the ocean, it seems. Lakshmana's arrows just went away somewhere. We used to imagine all these things. We used to be happy about all this also. But we did not go around killing people.
But where do we remember our grandparents all telling stories, Guruji? Just like that, to my knowledge, I all grew up just like that. Nobody I don't know. I asked my mother, அம்மா நீ என்னதான் சொல்லி கொடுத்த? நான் அம்மாவை கேட்டேன். இவ்வளவு யோசிக்க வேண்டியிருக்க குட்டிகளை வளர்க்கறதுக்கு நீ என்னதாம்மா சொல்லி கொடுத்தேன்னா வந்து நீங்கெல்லாம் அப்படியே வந்துட்டேள் அப்படின்னா அவ்வளவுதான்.
That means this tells us one thing. The ecosystem that we grew up in is missing today. The ecosystem is missing, is gone. Just because I tell them the story is not enough. I tell them the story, but we had an ecosystem there. Turn around here, there is a temple, there's a temple. People are all putting Buttu and Devadi and walking around. That is the ecosystem. So we grew up in that ecosystem. For us, there was no conflict. But now, two worlds are there. They live in two worlds. The children live in two worlds. One is the world inside the house, inside the four walls. It's a different world altogether. Outside, you have to present yourself differently. You have to dress yourself differently. You have to talk differently. All these things are there. It's a conflict that shows that the ecosystem that we had, they don't have, which is we have to. That's why we try to recreate the ecosystem, but at the same time we have to be more equipped. Shanti, we have to be more equipped than our parents.
So we caught the values. Now we are trying to teach the values. Caught the values mean they observed what was being done around them, like a father taking care of the grandfather, or older people coming home, and at any time, a lot of people coming. There is a lot of hospitality being this thing, and the camaraderie, or in a neighborhood something happens, everybody pitches in and all that stuff. So there, the father did not tell the child, "See what I'm doing now to my parent." He just did it, and the child watched it. That was catching the value. Now there is no value to catch. We are only trying to teach. So just teaching the values will not work, because what they see, what they observe goes into their mind. This is just like a lesson. Okay, you write 2 marks answer, you write a 2-line 2-mark question, you write a 2-line answer. For 5-mark question, you write a 5-mark big paragraph and get the mark and get out of it. It is not that.
Good. So Emaji's point is good. That is, we had role models who lived the values, and so nothing strikes us stronger than looking at a person who lives a value.
So we all lived, when we had some older my father's uncle who was bedridden for 10 years. He was kept in our house, and he had an attendant. So that Atimber, that is my father's Atimber. But we grew with them, with that Atapati, and 4 generations in the house.
Yeah.
And at any time that there are about 20 people would sit. And we
Right.
had to do that excellent thing, without lifting our head, without sitting down on the ground. And even today, I can do that because I've been doing it for so long. In my house also, in Mumbai also, any function, that Achal Ravela will only come to me, because nobody else could do it, nobody else would do it. I mean,
Thank
these
you.
are the things, we were just, it
Thank
was
you.
natural thing for us to do.
Thank you, Emaji. Good point made. So that ecosystem is missing right now. Yeah. So that's why parents have to be creative. Somehow be creative. Get these ideas, but be creative. Show them something different. Show them different. Ask them questions about how will you deal with this? How will you deal with that? Anyway, good. I think we've talked enough on that. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.